It's easy to get stuck reaching for the same familiar fruits and vegetables, even when you know a colorful variety is key. Balance of Nature's fruits and veggie supplements don't replace fruits and vegetables, but it makes it easy to add more variety to what you already eat. With 31 ingredients that are whole fruits and vegetables, switching it up is easy because we've already taken care of the hard part. Go to balanceofnature.com and get a free fiber and spice supplement, plus 35% off your first set as a new preferred customer by using discount code POD.
This is Another Side of Midnight with TJ McCormack. Now to the Bernard McGurk studios of 77 WABC. Here's TJ McCormack.
Good morning. Hello there. It is 7 minutes past. I'm TJ McCormack. This is Another Side of Midnight with TJ McCormack on the Red Apple Audio Networks all around the United States of America and all around the world on WABCRadio.com, of course. And hello there. 1-800-848-9222. 1-800-848-9222. It's Saturday morning. It is the 8th of November already. And that's a typical thing to say. Right away. I'm 34 seconds into the show and I say something typical radio guy. It's already, I can't believe it's already November 8th. Where's the time go? Oh, all right. So Tony's got to work the board so he can't come in and slap me, but a self-imposed slap for being typical. But where'd the time go? It's already there. Hey, it's going to be Christmas before you know it. Okay. I know. Sorry. I apologize. Anyway, so I'm doing my absolute level best to meet the challenge, to be there for you guys, because you have been there for me in this show from morning one. And I'm very, very grateful for that. And me, I am dragging today. I am absolutely stuck in mud that's I am stuck in molasses mud. I'm stuck in molasses mud, and it's kind of, it's kind of like when you're in a dream and you're trying to run away from the bad guy, but you can't move, right? And you're like, I know I'm dreaming, but I should still be moving. The bad guy's going to get me. And you just can't move because you're paralyzed, because you're actually sleeping. You're not actually, right? Okay. That's kind of me. I don't know what, like 2 mornings ago, 2 nights ago, I couldn't really sleep. Kind of, and I had like an upset stomach, but I wasn't sick. I just was tight. I couldn't sleep. And I already had my eye on this morning. As the week goes on, I have, know that the show is coming, and, he's onboarding information for the show, thinking about stuff for the show. What am I going to do the show? And yet exhausted for the last one. Today, could not close my eyes long enough. I don't know. So I am rallying. I am in the process of currently rallying, because y'all deserve it. Got to do it. It's about being a pro, right? Got to step up and do the damn show. I never have not done the show all the way back in my stand-up days. Always do the show. But anyway, so it's been a hell of a week. I think that's also part of it. There was just so much to be hyper aware of. The week has just been it's not even been news cycles. It's been one big of news, just a big pile of information and opinion. And so much of it is opinion. The shutdown keeps going. The shutdown is just dragging on. And I'm getting the sense that the GOP, I'm getting the sense that the Republicans who owned this as recently as like 10 days ago, I really felt that Republicans were absolutely owning the messaging and owning the narrative about the shutdown, that you had really, really, eloquent guys like Mike Johnson, like New York Congressman Mike Lawler, like all those guys, really owning the narrative that, hey, look, we just need a clean resolution to, a clean continuing resolution to just open up the government. Let's just open up the government. Here you go. And Lawler confronted Hakeem Jeffries, he of the dead eyes. Good Lord. Is there a person with deader eyes than Hakeem Jeffries? 1-800-848-9222. So the GOP for the longest time, they were owning it. Everything from, hey, you guys already voted on this before. It was the people were getting it. Democrats already voted on this before. We're not asking them to do anything differently. This is Biden level spending. Let's just do this. They had a few Democrats break away the first couple of votes, so they had that on their side. They could point and say, look, your colleagues, on your side of the aisle in the Senate voted for this. Let's just go. Let's open the government. And I'm just sort of getting the sense that the Republicans are losing this. It's starting to slip out of their fingers a little bit. And it's starting to slip out of their fingers because it's getting tangible. There are now things that are not good, just in general, right? Nobody likes people not getting paid. Nobody likes people going hungry. We do remember there are people that actually need benefits. We do remember that beyond the conversation about illegal aliens and others getting benefits who shouldn't be getting them, and scam artists, beyond that, we do agree, at least I hope, that we all stipulate that we need to maintain a social safety net and look after people who need it. And now we're seeing SNAP benefits that are being sliced. And that we're seeing that although I know that they were figuring out ways to use tariff money to pay the military. Eventually, we're getting close to tangibly seeing government workers not getting paid. And while some people look at a lot of government workers as being part of the bloat and government workers being a bit lazy and that whole thing about not coming into the office, until, from COVID until Trump was inaugurated, that there's that version but still they got to get paid. So, so there's that. And then you add into the whole thing, not that Trump is suddenly losing. Okay. But, news cycles are news cycles. TV is TV. Radio talk is radio talk. Talk radio is talk radio. I just said that both ways. And Trump is not like suddenly losing by a long shot, but the big wins that ate up news cycles aren't like quite there, He's not, reviewing the troops in the UK. He's not sitting there surrounded by world leaders in Egypt. He's not embracing Azerbaijan and the other one. Who the hell was that? Armenian or Azerbaijan? Turkmenistan? I don't know. One of the 7 wars that he stopped. Okay. He's not stopping a war this week. Yeah, it's been kind of meh. It's been kind of meh. And you throw into that Tuesday, where these flippin' awful Democrats beat pretty damn good Republicans. And I'm not even talking about Mamdani. I'm sorry that I've said Mamdani. I'm not even gonna. But there were wins, like even Gavin out there in California got his dopey redistricting thing, his vanity project, that passed. That came together and passed like lickety split. He got that flipping thing on the ballot in no time. 1-800-848-9222. 1-800-848-9222. Talking about all this stuff. And so the big losses, it's not so much that they were Trump people that lost. I mean, I don't know if he really got involved very much. Did he? Other than mentioning, I don't know if he got involved very much with the Jersey or the Virginia race. I know the Democrats were worried enough that they begged and got Obama in on it. But could there have been a more competent appearing and competent and clean cut and decisive figure than Jack Ciattarelli? Jack Ciattarelli, who did well the first time, gave Murphy a run for his money and got just his doors blown off by Mikey Sherrill, by a lying, duplicitous, not terribly impressive Mikey Sherrill, who also carries that same identity as that, of one of these Congress people who goes and like quadruples her net worth. I'm sorry, I don't know the exact number, whatever she did, the figures, but she's one of them. She's one of those Congress people who comes in with a net worth of like, $648,000. And it's, currently sitting on like 7 million. How does that happen? And how does that not reflect poorly? How does New Jersey do that? There are so many. I would imagine, when I go to New Jersey, I'm conscious of the fact that they're constantly electing Democrats since Chris Christie. And, F Chris Christie for a lot of reasons. He's just he's just so sick of that thing. So Chris Christie, good riddance, but I don't know. Every time I'm in Jersey, I'm like, I can't believe I'm in a blue state. I cannot believe This place is gorgeous. This place is nice. It's well run. Everything runs. I don't get how it actually, I don't know. Jersey is a conundrum to me. It really is. It's, it's almost like it's well run and everything in spite of its politics. There must be some sort of secret something there. I don't know. 1-800-848-9222. And then today I'm gearing up. I'm trying to gear up to do the show. I'm sorry, yesterday. I'm trying to gear up to do the show this morning. And we can talk about this later. I got to take a break in a moment. We're going to come back and talk to everybody online. We got Danny, Pete, Dirty Red, and Lamar waiting to go. And we will. But this, so my wife, here I was like having like a queasy couple of days where again, I wasn't sick, but my stomach was just in knots. Just in knots. Just, I don't know if it was stress, tension, anxiety. I don't know. Plus maybe I ate something bad and it felt like my body was just grinding on it for like 48 hours. One of those weird, just sour things, right? Probably just acidic, just too acidic. Anyway. So my wife, who I love and adore and who saved my life and gave me two spectacular young girls and the bombshell, as I always refer to her, my bombshell. She didn't feel well, like proper didn't feel well. And like most women, she was like, in the 15th minute of not feeling well, she's on the phone with the doctor. She got on the bar. I'm going to see the doctor by I can see him at 11. So she goes to see the doctor. And you know what? I'll tell you about this in a second. We had a saga today that I imagine most everybody can relate to, but we got to figure this out because I'm wondering, are doctors in some way, do they benefit? Do doctors in any way get a little something? Do they get to wet their beak on referrals? Is a question for, I don't know, but I'll tell you about what happened with my wife today when we come back. It's Another Side of Midnight with me, TJ McCormick, on the Red Apple Audio Networks, 1-800-848-9222. We're taking a look at the week. I'm going to tell you what happened to my wife, and we're going to talk to you all about all this stuff right here. And we shall be right back. Stay right there.
All night long, this is Another Side of Midnight with TJ McCormack, 77 WABC. It's Another Side of Midnight.
Political humorist TJ McCormick.
Now, to the Bernard McGurk studios of 77 WABC. Here's TJ McCormack.
Good morning, gang. Hello there. Thank you, Tone. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, fellas. Thank you, gang. Thank you. I'm intrigued by Lamar on line 4. I'm going to go right to Lamar on line 4. I'm intrigued because I don't know if he's in some way complaining or Lamar. Hello. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, sir. Your question that you posed a few minutes ago in the beginning of your conversation.
Yes, sir.
Let's analyze it.
Yes, sir.
Down in Louisiana, they got a saying, and it goes like this: La vie est mystère, monsieur. To everybody out there in Radio Land who don't speak Creole or Patois or French, those words mean life is a mystery. But it ain't no mystery when you analyze why people would turn down, would shun a patriotic man like the Republican candidate for governor in New Jersey and vote for people who are opposed to the America First agenda of the greatest man alive in the world today, President Donald John Trump. I can tell you this.
Yes, sir.
People who vote for corrupt politicians, liars, thieves, and traitors are not victims. They are accomplices in the destruction of our country. It is without historical precedent what the Democrat Party has done to injure our nation, refusing to defend the southern frontier, flooding the nation with millions of invaders, and facilitating the entry into this country of drugs that for the 4 years of the Biden tyranny killed every year more than 100,000 young Americans, our nation's most precious resource. You want to know why?
Please.
Let me tell you something, sir. In this country, we have what they call gold star mothers. Mothers who have sacrificed on the altar of this nation's freedom, their lives, our brave soldiery, their sons and daughters. In the national hymn of our country, it talks about the land of the free and the home of the brave. Well, I can tell you this, sir. Any country whose constituency, whose citizenry is prepared to surrender this country to the Democrat Party, these are not brave people, and they're not worthy of President Trump to be the president of this country. This nation's days are numbered with this type of constituency.
Lamar,
I don't even have a crystal ball.
Lamar, let me ask you this, Lamar. Where did all this come from? How long have you been this engaged and this? Have you always been conservative minded? Have you always been fans of people like Donald Trump, or is this something that you sort of evolved into, or from where do you get these values and these convictions?
Sir, I got these values where every young person gets their values, and that's from my daddy.
Your daddy.
My daddy was my hero. He was a professional soldier for 36 years. I've been on active duty for 16, after which I subsequently became a privateer. That means a military contractor.
All right. Make sure you keep your mouth.
Okay. When I look around in our country today, and see how people are prepared to surrender this country because they missed one or two paychecks, it is pathetic.
Yes, I agree, and I'm not making fun. You're waking me up, damn it, Lamar. I knew there was something about you that I wanted to come to. I was slipping. I was sliding. I was ready to go sleeping. And damn it, you're just not going to let that happen.
Wake your ass up.
You woke my tuchus up. Lamar, I'm serious. Thank you very much, and I'm grateful that you called in. And that's the kind of energy that I love. And that's a real deal late night, early morning talk radio son of a gun. If John Philip Sousa was a late night, early morning talk radio connoisseur and caller, he would sound like Lamar. Yeah. Did you know that? You know what I heard one time? That John Philip Sousa played, and his orchestra, or whatever it would have been, played at the opening day of the original Yankee Stadium in 1923. John Philip Sousa directed his band and probably played Stars and Stripes Forever at Yankee Stadium 23 is when it opened, right? 20. Oh, we're going to go to, line four. Good morning. Talking to John in Reno. Good morning.
Good morning, TJ.
Hello there.
I just wanted to say I'm still very happy with Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
New Jersey was Democrat. We had a chance to win. We didn't. Virginia is something that alternates as purple.
Yeah.
It went back to Democrat. I'm not horribly upset about that.
I do have a bee in my bonnet about that. And I know it's kind of cliche at this point, but that guy who won for Attorney General, my God, just the office that he was, it's not like he was running for Congress and fantasizing about killing a guy's kids. He's running to be the chief elected, law enforcement official. That's what really, really got me. That's what tells me Democrats will vote for anything, not just anyone. They'll vote for anything with a D. Go ahead, John. Sorry.
Yeah, the guy's a loser.
Yeah.
And it does show, like you said, that Democrats will vote Democrat no matter if it was practically Hitler running.
Yeah.
And, it's just a fact of life. I think that the shutdown kind of spoiled our chances. Government ground to a halt.
Yep.
Trump, with the Congress shut down, was unable to offer the pre-election day stimulus,
right,
which would have been a big help.
Boom.
Things just didn't work out because Chuck Schumer and them shut down the government. And just like under COVID, in his first term when COVID hit, he got blamed for the sad state of things, although none of it was his fault. And other than that, he was doing great for us. And the same thing kind of happened this time with the shutdown. It's unfortunate, but I think it's a mere hiccup.
Yeah. Oh, a hiccup for Trump. Yeah, I mean, very, very quite possibly. Thank you, John. Thanks for calling in from Reno. Always love hearing from John, a fellow sober dude. We'll be talking about recovery a little bit later in the show, by the way, which we always do. Talk about boozing it or not anymore. 1-800-848-9222. Yeah, I'm getting the sense. I'm going to come to you, Danny, in a moment. I get the sense, not that Trump is slipping or losing, but I mean, the good news winning just sort of slowed down a bit and with really poor timing, but also the messaging on this shutdown. And it could get, I mean, look, the Democrats have done now they held in there. They know they're going to get, and this is where that unholy alliance with the mainstream media comes in, right? They know that they're going to get cover from ABC, NBC, CBS. They're going to get cover from the usual suspects, right? And in this case, it's covered by omission. They're just not going to talk about it other than the points that they want discussed. People not getting paid, SNAP benefits, that kind of thing. And now they're getting to the real win. And to me, the real win is, and a buddy of mine said this to me today too, my buddy Billy. Imagine if they make it to Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is the finish line. Thanksgiving is the win for one or the other. Because if the Democrats are able to hold out and airplanes stop and if there are people who miss Thanksgiving dinner, right? If there are people who miss that table, the all-American holiday, because the airports are slow or worse, shut, that I just do not see the Republicans winning that one, because it's not going to be words. It's not going to be rationale. When people are sitting in an airport while their family in Milwaukee are sitting down and carving a turkey, and they're sitting there being told, take off your shoes, or being yelled to put your shoes back on. You don't got to take your shoes off no more. Then we got a problem. And then the Republicans have a problem. Now it's going to be tangible. Thanksgiving is the finish line. Or it's the prize. It's the prize. Therein lies the prize. Ooh, and that rhymes. That rhyme went right past my eyes. It's 33 past the hour. And so I want to get to Danny in New Hampshire. Been sitting there forever. Thank you. Hi, buddy. Good morning. Welcome.
TJ, New York City is headed for a communist winter. 80% of Mandani's voters are foreign-born. And let me finish this up because the audience is going to love this. Federal judges going against Trump. Most of those judges are foreign-born judges. They hate America. They come in here. And next year's governor's race, you have all conservatives leaving New York, the city, and all over the place. Now, remember, Mandani, there's a lot of communists in this country. They're going to come to New York City. They're going to think they're in utopia.
We're going to be a magnet. We're going to be a magnet.
He's going to be a magnet to them. And just unfortunately, you are correct. The president gets blamed for a lot of stuff because people know who he is. They don't know who Schumer is. Right. If you ask them who Pelosi is, they'll think she plays center field for the Yankees. They don't know who these people are. Yeah. The average person I'm talking about. Yeah. But the thing is, you are right. Your friend is right. I said it's going to be a long shutdown because they want to make people feel angry and people feel the pain of what's going on, and they know Trump will get blamed. But here's the thing now. Yeah. Trump has got to now go for the gusto. He's got to have the Senate pull the filibuster, and when he pulls the filibuster, get the budget intact here, but get rid of the 65 Immigration Act. The leftists will go crazy. Why don't you people want the leftists to go crazy? People are blaming this on a bunch of college kids. You think college kids voted for Omar and Tlaib? These people are communists, American haters. And you know what? They come into New York City from other countries. Oh, we can't afford to live here. So instead of leaving and going back home, they demand that the people in New York pay for everything and give them everything for free. And New Yorkers do it.
Danny, I live where I can afford. I've had awful luck. Oh, and this reminds me too. Okay, this is good. This is as if I was awake and functioning all day yesterday. I just remembered something I wanted to talk about. And I have had, for example, I get where I'm at. See, this is what I don't relate to with these Gen Zs and anybody who sits there jealous of people who have done well through hard work. I have worked insanely hard. My wife works harder than me. Everything I do, my wife does better. She is Annie Oakley. She does anything I do, she does better. And yet I have never benefited from timing. And again, I'm not making an excuse. Again, clearly, actually, I'm not making excuses. I'm telling you that when I've had the opportunity to jump on whatever ladder, the timing has been awful. Okay. And I'm talking about, just financially making an investment, the house, the condo, the thing, the boom. I'm 57 years old and I have yet to have a win in a big way when it comes to like a major investment. Okay. I'm not talking about like, throwing money at something. I'm talking about like doing what everybody else does, like with being on the housing ladder. My point is this. I live within my means. Do I wish I had more? Sure. Do I aspire to more? Do I work harder to get more? Yes. And my wife works harder than me. And for example, we live where we live. If we were to sell our home tomorrow, we would make a tidy sum. But we couldn't live anywhere because we can't move anywhere within our town because while we have done well and our house has appreciated, every other damn thing around us has appreciated, and we cannot grow our footprint. We'd have to move to another town in another county, which does us no good because our daughters are in school. So anyway, but do I walk around blaming and giving the finger and boo-hooing? Look, a little bit of boo-hooing. Every now and then a boo-hoo. Some weeks there's more boo-hoos than others. But I don't begrudge. Sometimes I begrudge. No, I'm just kidding. I don't begrudge. I don't sit there and say, how the hell and why do they? I get it. Sometimes it's a tough pill to swallow. So I'm just light years from a leftist. I don't, that jealousy, that envy of leftists that give me without me doing anything about leftism. I just can't relate. And it's not American. And it's one of the most disappointing things about my other favorite place in the world, which is the UK. One of the most disappointing aspects of the UK is, in addition to their almost complete lack of free speech these days, is this jealousy thing, this begrudging thing that I never used to think was a hallmark of the British people. But they always struck me as bootstrappers. But there's a big element now where they just sit there and just point fingers and say, I want that now too. Gimme. I don't know. I don't get it. Anyway, Danny in New Hampshire, thank you, buddy. I appreciate the call. And, yeah. And, and by the way, speaking of Brits, so my wife today, I'm going to get to the other calls. My wife today, like I said, before the break, she had a bit of a something and she said, I'm going to go to the doctor. I go, okay, good. Okay. She goes to the doctor and the guy says she's feeling something. She's familiar with it. She's familiar with it. It's something that'll recur every now and then on my wife. And she's thinking I've got that thing that recurs every now and then. Doctor gives her the little tummy roll, puts the pressure on the abdomen, and he goes, well, you know what? This could be an XYZ. I'm not happy with that. I want you to go to the emergency room, which we all know automatically is just unplug from the entire world now, because there is no version of the emergency room that does not encompass the rest of the day. There is no emergency room on the planet that is efficient, good, clean. I mean, yeah, good. They save lives. Yes. In that regard, yes, they save lives. But when you are told, when you, an otherwise healthy-ish person who might be in a situation, not dying, but might be in a situation, if you are able to drive yourself to the emergency room, you might as well tell the boss, tell the kids, tell the family, tell the neighbors, tell the pets, tell your best friend, don't even expect me. So, you know what you need? You know what you need you know right off the bat, I need my phone charger. God damn it, where's my phone charger? I don't have my phone charger. I'm doomed. I'm dead. You go to the emergency room in the middle of the day because the doc said you might want to go to the emergency room. You're done. You might as well die. You might as well die. My wife might as well have passed away today. I don't say this lightly, even though I am saying it lightly. My wife might as well have passed away because her entire life as she knew it stopped. Nobody could reach her because there's never a signal in an emergency room. There's never Wi-Fi in an emergency. There's never any 5G, 4G, 3G. There's there's Ugazzi in an emergency room. There's nothing. There's a tiny little G of cell service. You get a bar and a half in an emergency room. So she might as well have bought the farm today. Thank God she didn't. But that's what it was. And so anyway, so she goes and she's sitting and she's waiting again, the whole waiting. I won't even, because you all know, right? She's waiting. A flippin' eternity. That's why I say she might as well have passed away for 4 hours. And finally now the ER, they give her CAT scans we're doing today. Maron. And he finally, after all the scans and the CAT scans and the PET scans and the scans, he gives her the same tummy roll. These guys feeling up my wife all day. These guys just getting their jollies on my wife. And don't tell me that a doctor just seen one and seen them all. Not when my wife rolls in there. When my wife rolls in there, that's not every day. When I go to the times I've been in the emergency room, there's not a whole lot of my wife's hanging around. So don't tell me these docs, they seen it once, they seen it all. My bombshell's laying back and they're like, you know what? Some of them, they warm up their hands. For my wife, they warm up their hands. Other ones, they go, sorry, sweetheart, they're cold. Anyway. And he gives it a little tummy roll. And he goes, that's not what your doctor said that is. I don't think that's what that is. This is after like 5.5 hours of sitting in, heaven's waiting room. She's intellectually brought all the way around back to square one. Pass go, do not collect or whatever. Right back to where she started with this guy now saying, I don't think that's what this is. I don't think. And she tells me, she goes, I'm wondering, do these doctors get referral fees? I mean, I'm sorry if it's a terribly stupid question or if it's the most obvious question, but I mean, like when a doctor sends a patient to another doctor. Yeah, it must not be ethical, right? It's not ethical for them to get a kickback. It can't be. Now that I say it out loud, I think I answered my own question. I cannot imagine. 1-800-848-9222. So just as we continue to talk about the week in review, I'm curious about your ER experiences. I'll have to give you a little window into my pathetic existence. I'll tell you, you know what, when we a little bit later this morning, I'll tell you about, maybe in recovery time, I'll tell you about my experience when I basically created a situation. I created out of whole cloth. And to the point where the doctors thought I had it too. I am the master of mind over matter. Or at least I can be. 1-800-848-9222. 1-800-848-9222. Curious about your take on the shutdown, your take on the Mamdani thing, your take on the eventual slowdown of all the winning for Trump in the last few days. Really lousy timing heading into an election. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Am I right or am I wrong? Is he still winning big? I mean, I know we've won a lot. He has a lot in the bank, but it's always, what have you done for me lately? God, can I throw out one more cliche? Now I've said, what have you done for me lately? My God, somebody. Okay. We'll be right back. It's Another Side of Midnight with me, TJ McCormick, here on the Red Apple Audio Network's 1-800-848-9222.
All night long. This is Another Side of Midnight
with TJ McCormick.
77 WABC. It's Another Side of Midnight.
Political humorist TJ McCormick.
Now, to the Bernard McGurk studios of 77 WABC.
Here's TJ McCormick.
All right. Good morning, gang. 50 minutes past the hour. Exactly 50 minutes past the hour. And we are talking about a bunch of stuff. Here we go. Let's get over to Pete in Staten Island. Pete, good morning.
Hey, TJ, thank you for having the courage to speak on what you're speaking about, especially about with hospitals and referrals. I know this firsthand. I worked for doctors with their malpractice insurance and stuff, because if you are, there's only one place to get it in Manhattan on Madison Avenue. And if you don't get it there, you can't practice medicine in New York, Jersey, and even Florida. So this is what goes on.
Right.
And there is referrals, but it's not cash. It's like galas that they're invited to and all these kind of stuff.
That is perceptive.
Right.
That's exactly how, Pete, that's exactly how politicians do it. That's exactly, right. They get the little trip here. They get the tickets there. They gets filed into a certain file. They're covered. Wow. They go to galas. They get they probably get little bumps, tickets they go to the opera. They get to sit in the fancy schmancy, right?
Exactly. And then the other thing too is they're politicians, and then after that they go for the big one, and it's called lobbyists, where they make maybe up to $1 million a day. I actually dated a girl who actually is a lobbyist now. She was also a congresswoman years back in Staten Island. And this is one of the things. And the other thing that we got to get out there, a lot of veterans are on this like food stamp thing, and now this has been shut off. I have a friend that is in my neighborhood that had 6 children, and now he's got, they're all of age where they live away, and he lives off of $230 in food stamps. And I told him, I said, listen, he was so worried and panicky that he was breaking out in rashes.
Wow.
I said, well, let me tell you something. I'm going to relieve that for you. You get $230. If the stamps stop, my wife and I are going to provide that money for you, and Thanksgiving's coming, you'll spend it with us.
Wow. There you go.
I reach out to everybody that I'm not a rich guy. I'm not a lot of money. I made a little money inventing a microphone that corrects your voice. I got it right here, which I make like almost a $40 profit on every one sold.
Nice.
It was a very professional one, but now it's like a toy for like karaoke and stuff. And back in the 70s, the trick was reverb and echo, like this, keep on rocking in the free world. Now that's what that mic does,
Oh,
and
my
God. You can have a lot of fun. It corrects your voice.
Everybody's here this morning. Everybody's here this morning.
Everybody's
Pete,
here.
Oh my God. No, I'm saying you're great. Pete, you just achieved a Hall of Fame status with that. Keep on rocking in the free world. Oh, Pete, thank you so much, buddy. I'm really glad you called. And yeah, that's interesting. And I knew it. I mean, again, when my wife gets sent over, that vortex, when you hear emergency room, there is nothing urgent about it. Urgent care, you know what? I tell you what, you do move through an urgent care pretty quickly. An urgent care can, it's right when you go to CVS or you go to whatever, City Med or something like that, wherever it is, like wherever you live out there. Urgent care, but it's like, it's when the doc says emergency room, and when you can drive yourself there, look, if I'm going to go to the emergency room, I want to be taken in an ambulance. I want to go in an ambulance with the sirens going and the lights, with like half of my body like hanging off the edge of the ambulance bed. Cause then they're going to see me. There have been times I've been sitting in a friggin' emergency room, and I've been sitting there, like even with somebody else. And I'm like, you know what? I don't need this pinky. Let me just chop off half this pinky and then we'll move this thing along and I'll take you in with me. And while they're putting a tourniquet on my pinky, I'll say, hey, do me a favor. Look at my kid here with their rosacea on her throat, whatever the hell that means. Honestly, I would gladly trade the tip of my pinky to get the show on the road for you to check out why my daughter's eye is leaking. She's got the leaky eye. We're here for her. But you know what? I just upped the game by chewing off, by gnawing off the tip of my pinky. Now will you see us, doctor? 1-800-848-9222. Have you ever considered chewing off the end of your finger to move things along? In a medical setting. Let's get over to Charlie in Cherry Hill. Charlie, good morning. Mikey Cheryl, huh? You got her for 4 years. Good luck.
Oh, yeah, great. We're going to need more than luck with her. Yeah, but the thing I want to talk about, and this goes to another thing, I'll attach it to something else you brought in. You were talking about some investments you've made, and you don't feel like you can sell your house because everyone else's house appreciating the same thing, which in the same amount, so you wouldn't make any money if you sold it and rebought it. This is what Mikey Cheryl did, and people don't realize what she did. She was on the House Armed Services Committee. That's an important committee.
Very big time committee. Sure.
But that's really important. She was on the House Armed Services Committee, and she was trading defense stocks. That's how she got to $7 million so rapidly in 6 years. God. I mean, and that's illegal. I mean, she's trading defense stocks, which she obviously has insider trading and knowledge of because of her job. They're not only being a member of the House of Representatives, but being on the Armed Services Committee.
Right, specifically,
Yeah, right, specifically. And I knew that Schumer was doing this, and this is what was wrong with the punditocracy and the chattering classes. You heard them all week saying, oh, Schumer's out of his mind. And I knew Senator Schumer's not out of his mind. He knows exactly what he's doing. These Democrats, they're vicious people. They're controlling the narrative. They don't care who they hurt, be it federal workers, be it people on SNAP, their so-called constituency. They don't care who they hurt as long as they acquire power. And they all hate Trump. They all have Trump derangement.
Right, it's all about Trump.
That's all about Trump. That's right. Anything they can do to stick it to Trump, and you rightly said, they know their allies in the media are going to cover for them and work with them. That's a given. They don't even call each other up and talk to each other because they just know the people in the media hate Trump too. Yeah. They have Trump derangement syndrome,
right?
And it's all. And I watched them work, and the Democrats in the Senate, they're all sticking together, and they act like the Bloods and the Crips, basically. They act like a gang.
You know what, Charlie?
Their mentality.
I'm coming up against the top of the hour, so you got to forgive me, but you know what we got to do here. So, but I tell you what, man, you nailed it, like boom, 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 just right down the line. You nailed it on so many items, and you also brought me to a thought I was having on the drive down last night to the city, and that was too. It's like it's become, not reinventing the wheel here, but it's become so tribal, and it's gotten so far away from even just, wouldn't it be great just to see a debate on taxes? Just straight up, just old fashioned taxing and spending, right? I know that's like a daft notion. And maybe at the end of the day, that's what all of this is about. But, if it could just be about Democrats being Democrats and Republicans being Republicans, that would actually be kind of fun and interesting, at least for like maybe a month. Just, debate the old school stuff. We'll be right back. Pamela, don't you go. We're coming to you first.
It's Another Side of Midnight. 77 WABC. This is Another Side of Midnight
with TJ McCormack.
Now to the Bernard McGurk studios of 77 WABC.
Here's TJ McCormack.
Good morning, gang. Hello there. Welcome back, family. It's 7 minutes past the hour. It's me, TJ, here on Another Side of Midnight, all around the country on the Red Apple Audio Networks. And by the way, if you are listening somewhere out there along the network, by all means, give a shout just to say hi and where you are. I'm just curious. And what you're doing, because it's officially very, very late or early now, just across the network. And whether you're out there pushing a truck around or a cab, or you know, just sort of tidying in the kitchen or laying in bed trying to go to sleep, and it's just not going to do any good because I'm just so energizing and I'm just so engaging and polarizing, and because I was just talking about chewing off the tip of my pinky to get things moving. How do you fall asleep when you get a guy screaming into your pillow microphone headphone? by the way, that is one of the best inventions. I've been a radio to sleep person forever. It's great because it guarantees you get to sleep, but it's awful because you always need it. And my wife, God bless the woman, has just lived with it. And now she's actually got her own thing cooking on her side of the bed. I have forever and ever and ever. I mean, that's why I know and love and embrace this brand, this version of talk radio. Nothing more intimate than talk radio. Nothing more intimate than the relationship between me and you right there. It's just immediate and real and genuine and organic and fast, and it's tight. It's just the two of us. And this time in the morning, everything's on the table. And so I love, right? This stuff. I love this relationship, and it's fascinating for me and a blast to be on the other side of the relationship. So my wife, though, has recently taken to, I got her like a, looks like kind of a headband, like girls would wear to like go skiing, kind of like a snow bunny headband, right? Like a big wide kind of it's not wool, but it looks it. Anyway, it's a really nice, soft, comfy, cottony kind of thing, and it goes over her eyes and over her ears. It's very gentle on her ears, and she's able to sleep with sound. But in her case, she goes to sleep watching Netflix on her phone. And that might as well be a searchlight at a prison camp. That might as well be a full moon on the other side of the bed. That glow when you're trying to sleep from an iPhone on full blast, silent. It's great. Her little headphones on her little snow bunny face sleep mask with the ear things inside. Great. I'm the one who bought it for her. But now I deal with, like, again, it's like a glowing orb on the other side of the bed. And the other thing that kills me too is her head thing is obvious. It's Bluetooth. So every once in a while, if we happen to roll over and face each other at the same time, it's like I'm facing a lit up Smurf. It's like I'm facing like a laser, like a Geiger count. I don't know. I feel like I've been invaded by, something we'd interview Bishop James Long about. This like blue glow just like zaps right through my corneas. 1-800-848-9222. I don't know if that rings a bell. How do you get to sleep with your partner next to you? Do either of you have extreme sleep things? And does it involve radio? Obviously, it probably does if you're listening to me now. But yeah, so if you're out there on the network, 1-800-848-9222. If you're hearing this show for the first time or you recently, since we've come into your town, give a call, say hi. Let me know what you're doing and where you are. And as promised, right to Pamela, line 4. Good morning, Pamela. Love talking to you. We haven't spoken in a couple of weekends. Good morning.
Good morning. As I see it,
yes.
Now, New York and New Jersey have off-year elections like Virginia. Mm-hmm. There's not too many of us. But it's interesting that how the October-November surprises have affected our area, especially the tri-state with all the airports. And also, New Jersey had a rather strange polling day where, 5 to 7 had bomb scares tied to Russia. And it sounds so familiar because what happened last year during the national elections? Jersey drones.
Oh, that's right. The drones. Damn it. Yeah. You're right, Pamela.
And also there's a, conspiracy theory, which, hey, isn't far-fetched. Geoengineering involved in that hurricane that went berserk up through a Republican area where FEMA did not help them during election time. I don't believe in coincidences. This is very interesting.
Huh. Pamela, I did not one of these things was on my radar. I mean, except for, as you mentioned too, you guys had this, what was exactly the bomb scare thing? What did happen in Jersey on election day? Did they keep a certain county open for another hour or something like that?
Yeah, well, they sent all emergency, responders to the poll places. Right. And it just so happened that it occurred in, let's say, the most tender of all counties.
Really?
New Jersey, if you get my drift. And, and then tied to Russia. Oh, does the Russia hoax and the ties in with that ring a bell?
So Pamela, tell me this. How is it that a guy like Chitterelli, who just, even just in the most basic sense, he presents as so sharp and competent, and like I would gladly hand over my state to a guy that looks and acts and sounds like, and I'm not discounting his policies and all of the other things that he said he was going to do, as his platform was great. But I'm just saying that, going with the notion that voters are so superficial and, and are triggered by so many visual and what, this guy, how does Jersey pick her over him? What the hell is going on?
Well, some theories are bandied about today and has been, well, he wasn't really pro-Trump. And now he is, and people resent that. Right. And then the other theory is that a lot of Republicans moved out of Jersey already. Interesting.
Now, there's something to that. There is something to that. The people who are leaving the blue states and going down south, generally speaking, it's our people who are leading the way. The Democrats are certainly not hurting in terms of the exodus.
That's true. But New Jersey is very, very strange. They're kind of like, the Jews who voted for Mamdani. New Jersey, I think New Jersey is into masochism. New Jersey is like very strange.
It might
very,
be.
Very
I don't know, and maybe it's funny. So I don't buy the whole, he wasn't Trump enough, but wouldn't that be something if that a Trump derangement person won running against Trump beat a guy that the Trumpy people said that they're saying they stayed home? Well, shame on the MAGA people who stayed home and slept on a guy like Chitterelli and let a Mikey Sherrill win, because this guy wasn't MAGA enough for them. That's just stupid.
And remember the polls, all these polls were, tight. They said they were tied. Kind of like what happened with Trump. Remember Trump with the polls? And they found out that was a fake out.
Yeah, that's not good. And that does bring about complacency. When people think their guy has it, they're more likely to just sort of skip it and stay home. They sat down, I had dinner, I'm not going out to vote. That kind of thing.
And when that happens at polls places, aren't you supposed to ask for a recall or a new election or something when 7 polling places are affected?
That's a lot.
Big time.
That's a significant number.
And now, some people might have stayed away because they were afraid.
Yeah, it might have worked. Oh, jeez. I love when you call in, Pamela. I'll talk to you next week. Hey, call tomorrow if you want. I love when Pamela calls in. She's always, she got whether it's her extreme views on men wearing shorts or an education too. Pamela's big on the whole special ed thing. Very interesting woman. Very interesting woman. 1-800-848-9222. 1-800-848-9222. Stephen Bed-Stuy. Good morning. Emergency room.
Good morning.
Hi there.
Emergency room story.
Yes, sir.
I had double vision. Something had ablated a nerve in my head and gave me double vision.
Jeez.
My doctor sent me to the hospital for an MRI. I spent 22 hours there waiting for it, but...
Oh, my God. 22
while
hours.
I was waiting, there was a terrible storm. And people came in with broken arms, dislocated shoulders, broken legs. They started filling up. I got out of my bed. And I said, you need my bed. I said, please get back into bed. You have to get back into bed. That's your bed. I said, no.
Right.
You need my bed. And I started singing. I'm a singer.
Okay.
And I sang loud, and I refused to get back in the bed. They took the bed.
Okay.
After about 4 songs.
They took the bed.
About 4 songs.
What were you singing? What were you singing?
Songs I love.
Well, okay. What kind of singer are you? What do you sing? What are songs you love?
He's a mean one, Mr. Trump. I sing a million things.
Okay, clearly. Okay, go ahead.
But after 4 songs, I stopped, and the nurse said, please keep singing. I said, what? You sing great. And there's something called the Mozart effect. You familiar with that?
Is it sort of like music calms the savage beast? It's sort of it's a pleasant distraction.
They found that people heal 15% faster when they hear music in the hospital.
Wow.
So I sang for 4 hours, walking around, bringing people food, being a double vision candy striper.
Wow. So you're handing out 2 sandwiches at a time to 4 different people. There's one there's one person laying there.
Fork Stream. So, by the way, I voted for Curtis. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Even though.
Thanks for nothing. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, it is nothing. Curtis never. I'm sorry to say this. I love him.
Yeah.
He's as a brother, but he never mattered. It's just good radio.
Yeah.
But that was despite the fact that a year ago, November, when Phil Lesh died, I tried to find this on the podcast, but it's not there. Curtis, what they called him, said, Curtis, Phil Lesh died. You know what he said?
What?
You ready? But I kept this hidden because I didn't want to be the Brutus. I didn't want to be the Judas before the election.
Yeah.
You ready for this?
Sure.
I'm glad he's dead. And his dopehead fans should die too.
That's the extreme. That's the shock value, Curtis. I believe there, Steve. That's the shock value, Curtis. It is. Thanks again, Steve. That might be the first time you ever called in, Steve. Don't be a stranger. Interesting dude with the singing. All right. It is 20 minutes past the hour on the Red Apple Audio Network. It's me, TJ McCormick, here with you on another side of midnight, 1-800-848-9222, talking about a lot of different stuff. Politics, we're talking about the shutdown, we're talking about this last week of now the slippery slope is starting to crumble away underneath the GOP. I think they're starting to lose the messaging on the shutdown. I think Thanksgiving is the trophy for either side. If the Republicans can get the airports flying, everybody's good. God forbid there are airports. The Republicans are going to take it on the chin. Trump's going to look bad, I think, if the airports aren't working for Thanksgiving. And we're talking about that. We're talking about nightmares in the emergency room. My wife was in that vortex today for hours and hours and hours. And the guy that finally saw her said, the whole reason you were sent here doesn't seem to be the case. Lovely. Thank you. She'll never get those 5 hours back. I would have chewed off my pinky. All right. I'll explain that reference in a moment. All right, gang. 1-800-848-9222. We'll come back with all your calls right away on the Red Apple Audio.
All night long. This is another Side of Midnight
with TJ McCormack.
77 WABC. It's another Side of Midnight.
Political humorist TJ McCormick.
Now to the Bernard McGurk studios of 77 WABC.
Here's TJ McCormack.
Then clearly I was afraid of it. Clearly I knew all the symptoms. And clearly I had self-diagnosed. I am the type of person that needs to be banned from WebMD. It's another Side of Midnight with TJ McCormick here on the Red Apple Audio Networks. We shall return 1-800-848-9222.
All night long. This is another Side of Midnight
with TJ McCormack.
77 WABC. It's Another Side of Midnight.
Political humorist TJ McCormick.
Now, to the Bernard McGurk studios of 77 WABC.
Here's TJ McCormack.
52 minutes past the hour. Doctor. That's a shot of espresso right in your ear. In your ear. Not in your ear. In your ear. Sorry. 1-800-848-9222. Nice old school kind of comedy thing there. Anyway, by the way, I am remiss for not more regularly going and saying hi and thank you to the crew, to the wing of the family who are gathered over on Twitter, on X at TJ McCormack, Catherine Trunk. And by the way, Catherine with a K, Catherine Trunk over on X, a tried and true, one of the earliest supporters and fans and friends of the show, along with Patty and oh my God, I'm going to get into my own personal trouble here by not naming it. Marianne, of course. My God. Okay. Now let me scroll here. Who else? Oh, the Mount Rushmore is there. Catherine and Patty and Marianne are all there. And there's Florida at the races is a regular and a whole bunch. But talk about remiss. I am really sorry. Catherine, I only just in the last break did I tap on the media portion of your feed and saw some of your artwork. You are, wow. Really good. Gang, go say hi to Catherine and Patty and Marianne and everyone else over there in the section of the family who hangs out on Twitter. And while you're there, dip into Patty for her videos of the leftists, the No Kings savages who infect her neighborhood every weekend. And as she confronts them, it's great. It's like great sport. And Catherine, go check out Catherine's artwork. Catherine, you are so talented. And thank you, all of you, for listening and participating. I'm very, 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 very grateful. Caroline is a first-time caller, and I love you for being that. Good morning. Welcome.
Hi, TJ. I'm just enjoying hanging on the phone, listening to everything. Thanks. But I really called about, I'm sorry Chitterelli didn't win for governor. Now, I live in Irvington, New Jersey, which is Essex County, and we're surrounded by Newark, where I was born, and I got flyers to vote for Mikey Sherrill, which on the pictures were my mayor from Irvington, East Orange, and Hillside, I think. So that's, that's like a prejudice or whatever they endorse or what.
They're all Democrats, right? Okay.
Yeah, okay. But Essex County still has cities Milburn, South Orange, West Orange, Livingston, Verona, Caldwell. I'm pretty sure it's all Essex County. But I feel that the former President Obama came to Newark to endorse Mikey Sherrill, and that was the week or so before the election, so that had a lot to do with it. And the shutdown also, because the people are going to miss their food stamps, believe me, and it's mean.
And you know what?
It.
And I'm with you. And Caroline, listen. I mean, I'm a much more of a Trump guy the second time around than I was the first time. And a lot of people, but I don't dig this. I don't like the idea that people, and it is the Democrats' fault. I do understand. I believe the Republicans, but we got to figure something out because people have to get paid. People need their benefits.
Oh, sure. But I didn't always vote. I'm 76 now. When you're young, you didn't think of this 50 years ago. Everything's great. So I was Democrat and then independent, but I kind of go for who's going to be running for things at the time of the election.
Yeah.
So I switched parties. Now,
wow.
What's wrong with that? I mean, you're able to do that.
Sure. No, nothing's wrong with it. You're 76.
Even like, in New York, what happened? People, they just stick with the one party for years. Yeah, I don't understand.
You got to keep an open mind. So, Caroline, you're 76. Who was the first? You remember who the first person you voted for president?
No, but I remember when I was young on unemployment, and Richard Nixon kept extending unemployment.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
So that I remember. I was in my 20s or going on 30s, and I was on unemployment, and Richard Nixon was extending, the employment benefit.
Okay, all right. So that was a good thing.
I was young. I remember my dad came from Italy. Not that I remember.
No,
I know he's deceased now.
Sure.
And he came from Italy as an immigrant.
Yeah. What's that?
And my dad came from Italy through Ellis Island. I have his papers.
Oh.
I was a little kid, proud to be an American.
Oh my gosh!
He put a flag out all the time. We lived in Newark, Italian neighborhood.
Caroline, you are absolutely a classic first-time caller, and we just got to know all about you. Make sure you call back again whenever you want, okay? Please, Caroline, don't be a stranger. All right, family, you're in the family, Caroline. We shall return. It's Another Side of Midnight with me, TJ McCormick. We'll get to everybody on the phones when we come back. Don't go away.
It's Another Side of Midnight, 77 WABC. This is Another Side of Midnight
with TJ McCormack.
Now to the Bernard McGurk studios of 77 WABC.
Here's TJ McCormack.
Good morning, gang. How are you, family? We are back here for the final hour this morning. It's Saturday morning, and it's raining here in Midtown Manhattan. I wonder what it's doing in your neck of the woods here at 7 minutes past the hour. And we are another side of midnight. I am TJ McCormick. You are supporting the show, and I love you for that. Thank you for being there and listening. And we are now all over the country on the Red Apple Audio Networks. So if you happen to be hearing this thing for the first time, by all means, give a shout. 1-800-848-9222. 1-800-848-9222. Catherine, who I was referring to on Twitter a few minutes ago, she was saying she's one of those people. She's always has the radio on under the pillow. I've always been a late night, early morning radio guy. Back in my days when I was a stand-up, all I listened to some music, stuff like Radar Love, but 9.5 times out of 10, it was talk radio, and it was Art Bell. Art Bell, the overnight experience, the overnight Art Bell. He died, and I just so much went with him. And guys like me can only just aspire to like get close to his universe, and not even doing his brand of radio. He's just one of a kind. Anyway, but I was a big, I would listen to overnight trucker radio. I'd listen to, when I was in the middle of the country, it was me in a car, like out in the vast center of America. I was doing one-nighters in Nebraska, in Iowa, in every state actually, except Hawaii. I did comedy in every state except Hawaii, including Alaska. That's every state except Hawaii. Okay. Anyway, and it was a blast too, to be in the car, pre-Sirius, pre-satellite radio, pre-digital and apps and all that stuff, which are fantastic. But there is a certain charm to radio this time of the morning. There's a certain charm and wonder and sort of a fantastical, holistic experience. I'm definitely waxing a little poetic here, but there's something about listening to a radio station and it starts to fade out, and then other stations on that same frequency start to pop in and fade in. And next thing you know, you're hearing a station. For me, one of the ones that would always a big blower, as they call it, when I would hear Cheyenne, Wyoming, kid from New York City, kid from Westchester, kid from New York, out there in the middle of the country doing stand-up, and you hear a radio station from Cheyenne, Wyoming, you know you are far from home. And you are in, quote unquote, another part, not just of the country, you're in another part of the world. When you're nosing your car and you are just beelining it, doing 75 miles an hour towards Cheyenne, Wyoming. And to hear that next radio station come in full. So if you're in that experience right now and it's my voice, I would love to know that. I would really be grateful to hear that you're hearing me for the first time in that sort of scenario. And that would be rare given all the digital out there. But if you're actually, please let me know wherever you're hearing, wherever you're listening, wherever, definitely say hi, even if it's just for a second. Say, hey, it's me and and I'm doing blah, blah, and I'm listening. Please let me know. But especially if you're hearing my voice in that sort of, big picture, big sky type of situation. I'd love to know that I'm dipping down into your car or your house, from parts unknown. 1-800-848-9222. I want to make sure I get over to John in Long Island. Let's talk to John in Long Island because I want to get this side of the story. John, thank you for contributing to the show. What do you want to tell me?
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm well, thank you. I'm awake and energized. Thank you. How are you?
Good. So I'm driving to work now, and you put Radar Love on.
Yes.
I'm minding my own business. I look down. I'm doing 85 miles an hour. You can't help yourself.
That you can't. That's the whole idea of that song. That's exactly it, baby. Okay, well, drive safe. Where are you driving? What road? What highway? On the LIE?
I'm on the Long Island Expressway heading to work. I'm a medic here in New York.
Okay.
I wanted to call about the ER issue.
Yes, sir.
So the ER issue is multidimensional.
Okay.
One of your callers pointed out one of the concerns is that when you call 911 and you get delivered to the ER, you get treated first.
Right.
So the people who walk in go to the back of the line.
Right.
And the population over the years have learned, I got a tummy ache. I stubbed my toe. My ear is infected because I got it pierced the other day. I got it, first off, they shouldn't be going to the ER. But secondarily, I'll call 911. I'll go right to the front of the line.
Wow.
And that causes people who, really may have more, serious conditions, but, equal conditions have to wait longer.
Right.
And coupled with that is that there's no penalty for calling 911 to take that in.
That was my question. So, that was going to be my question, John. Okay, so they're not going to be in trouble for telling a fib.
Well, it's better. It's better than that. You and I call 911. We go to the ER because we probably have commercial insurance, and we get a copay.
Right.
And we get a copay for the ER visit.
Right.
If you're on certain insurances that's provided by the government, there's no copay, there's no penalty.
Oh, my God.
So I go to people's homes, and they call 911, and they've had a tummy ache for 20 minutes. I said, what have you done to treat it? Well, nothing. Well, why'd you call 911? Well, you can treat it faster.
Wow.
Well, why didn't you take a cab or the bus to the hospital? Oh, you have to pay for that.
Wow.
My card, it's a free ride. And then I don't have to wait because I'm coming by ambulance. So the system is set up to reward those in certain aspects of how they utilize the ER.
Tell me this, John.
It just becomes worse.
Yeah, no, I can imagine. Thank you for that. And tell me this, though, John. Tell me this. Have you, what about the other side, the other end of the spectrum? How many times have you gone and you find yourself on a call that this person has waited and waited and waited and waited, and it's almost too late, or it is too late. They were stubborn. They didn't call an ambulance soon enough. They didn't, and finally their son or their daughter came over and said, "Mom, what are you doing?" How often does that happen where people just wait too long to call an ambulance because they're scared?
That's more a generational thing by and large.
Oh, okay.
I've been working 40 years in EMS in New York City.
Wow.
And over the 40 years, I've seen the change in the call types and volumes. And that old school, I'll take care of it, I'll take my home medications, I'll deal with it, I'll wait to go see my private doctor till it's too late.
Right.
It's a different generation that does that. Today, these younger generation people, they just call 911. They'll take me to the hospital, and I'll get my medicine or get my cough syrup, or they'll give me the Band-Aid.
Right.
They don't want to utilize the walk-in healthcare places, the MedMDs and urgent care places. Because there might be a copay there. Wow.
Yeah. Tell me. So 40 years you've been a medic in New York City. What have you? I mean, you could write a book. Well, I don't even know what to begin to ask you. I mean, 40 years. So you were on the job during 9/11.
I was at 9/11. I was there when the buildings collapsed around me.
Oh my God.
I got cancer afterwards.
Oh my God.
Stage 4 kidney cancer. I beat it 4 times.
Oh my God. So you have, wow. Well, I'm humbled, first of all. I mean, oh my God. You're still on the job. You're still doing it.
It's a passion. Most people who work EMS, it's a passion, not a job.
So let me ask you this: how do you, I don't even have the wherewithal right now to ask you enough interesting questions. But let me ask you this to keep it timely: what do you think about Mamdani coming in? Are you going to see a lot of your colleagues skipping town? Are they gonna keep working for this guy? Is the passion to be of service gonna override whatever this guy wants to bring to the table?
Well, it's interesting. the city government has mandated $20 minimum wage for cab drivers, but a starting EMT in fire department in New York starts at $18. And the pay disparity between the fire department EMS, the fire department fire suppression, and the police officers is half. And the turnover is about 40% a year.
Wow.
You're just being worked to death. The turnover is 40% a year. The pay is horrible. The benefits are horrible. And the only reason we have this many people still in the business is because of the passion. But a lot of people coming in today roll over to become firemen or roll over to become cops or corrections officers because they can't make money doing this for a living. And I don't think McDonald's did that.
Say that last part again. You don't think what?
I don't think Mr. Mendami is going to fix that, problem.
If anything, he's going to make it worse.
How do you run a business with a 25 to 40% turnover rate? There's something wrong, and everybody tells everybody it's the pay disparity, and the volume of work is through the roof. EMS in New York City is responding to 4,000 calls for help a day.
Yeah. Wow. And so
a lot of work for them.
Yeah, my God. And so after all these years, clearly you're a senior medic. You got to be a senior on your guy on your watch on your tour. So like when are you due to retire? Soon, right?
Having survived 9/11 and 4 surgeries, I'm that old school mentality. If you stop working, you're going to die.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I'm very physically fit. I'm a strong 66-year-old, in much better shape than kids half my age.
Sure.
As long as I can do it and help people, I'm not going to stop.
Wow. Wow.
It's a passion.
Dude, why? Hey, very humbling to talk to you. And please, definitely, in a way totally different from my wife, turn me on when you're on your way to work. And
I do. I'm driving at 3:00 in the morning to work, right?
Excellent, brother. Definitely keep me tuned in, every Saturday and Sunday morning, and don't be a stranger. It's good to talk to you. Thank you.
I will. Thanks for taking my call. Have a great day.
Of course. It was an honor. Thank you, brother. And be safe. Stay safe.
Bye-bye.
God bless. Thank you. Bye-bye. Wow. Wow. That was really interesting. 19 minutes past the hour here on Another Side of Midnight. Joaquin's been hanging on. We'll get to him first when we come back from the break. And also, by the way, again, this is the 4 a.m. hour on a Saturday morning. And, we're always willing to talk to anybody at any time about anything. But we do, reserve a certain amount of, wherewithal for, conversations about recovery. If you think that you, are doing a little bit too much of whatever, if you're imbibing a bit too much in any sort of vice, whether it's booze or drugs or retail, if you're shopping, if you're spending, if it's a sex addiction, if it's hoarding, collecting items, and if it's beyond your control and your life is unmanageable, give a call. I've been a sober dude for 20 years myself. By the way, for some of you, this is a broken record. For others hearing the show for the first time, just letting you know. Been about 20 years, it's been a little more than 20 years since I had my last drink, a little more than 19 years since I had my last cigarette. So I'm no expert. I'm just sober today. So, you do it one day at a time, but happy to have a conversation. And, even if it's something you just need to say out loud and then hang up the phone, even if you just want to identify and say, I think I'm or I think I might, or my brother is boom, or my girlfriend needs to, or I wish my dad would stop, 1-800-848-9222. It's a burning desire, something you want to get off your chest, something you want to ask a question about, just say to the universe and move on, by all means. In the meantime, I'm going to take a quick break. It's Another Side of Midnight with TJ McCormick on the Red Apple Audio Networks.
All night long, this is Another Side of Midnight
with TJ McCormick.
77 WABC. It's Another Side of Midnight.
Political humorist TJ McCormick.
Now, to the Bernard McGurk studios of 77 WABC.
Here's TJ McCormick.
Next Saturday morning, we will roll out a conversation about Saturday morning cartoons. Because I know I think everybody's going to think the golden age for the cartoons was when they were a kid, and that makes sense. But having observed since, I think a lot of us my age we're in the last of the great several eras. One of them being probably Saturday morning cartoons. Because there was some old school stuff, there was some new cut. I mean, I remember the Harlem Globetrotters cartoon. I just said we're not going to get into it. We'll talk about it next Saturday. Somebody remind me. Anyway, 1-800-848-9222. It's another side of midnight. Good morning. Thank you for being here all around the country on the Red Apple Audio Networks. And, we're talking about a bunch of stuff, like I said, and I just want to make sure over there on Twitter, you know what's interesting? People chiming in, Catherine and Marianne, people are universally their experience at the OR. God forbid it gets that far, but at the ER, the cold, right? That's what people are saying. Cold and loud and people coughing. And was it Catherine saying that she was in a ball, trying to, what was Catherine saying? Yeah. She said it's torturous, freezing cold, right? Cause you got to cut down, you need it to be cold in a hospital, right? So that the germs don't thrive. Freezing cold, people coughing, throwing up. And I'm curled over in a chair in a ball for hours to conserve body heat. Yes, you find yourself, and there's no way to get comfortable, trying to avoid catching infection. Yes. You know what? That almost describes me on any given Wednesday. Curled over in a chair in a ball for hours to conserve body heat, trying to avoid catching infection. That could be me on the train coming in to do a TV hit. I'll look cool as a cucumber on TV, talking all stuff and being funny about politics. But on the train into the city, I'm avoiding everything. I'm opening doors with my cuff sleeve and my elbow. I might as well, you know what? If I did, God forbid, ever become any sort of an amputee, I'm like one of those people who can play the piano with their toes. I mean, I can't actually play the piano with my toes or my fingers, but I've got very talented lower body extremities and elbows because I don't want to touch anything with my hands. And I'm not a germaphobe. I'm just very, very aware of my surroundings. One of the best things to come out of COVID were those little hook things that you put on your keychain. I don't know if anybody did that. I don't know if Lizzie can hear me. Lizzie, do you have a germ thing? Are you good with germs? Oh, can you talk to me? Lizzie can talk to me?
I believe so. So.
This is wonderful. Lizzie Radabal in here, getting ready for the 5 a.m. newscast here locally on 77 WABC. We're talking nationally. So are you good with that? I mean, I don't mean to fold you into typical talk radio, but I am just curious if I'm alone with it. I'm not like a germaphobe, but I'm just very aware. Or are you totally cool and you don't even think about it?
I mean, it depends on the context. Sometimes I find myself a bit, wary. In certain contexts, like you said, a hospital, right. I'm a bit like, skeeved out. Right. Or, if it looks dingy.
Yes.
If I'm in a place and it looks a little run down and decrepit, I'm like, let me bust out the hand sanitizer.
The first 10 minutes of a flight, I'm okay in that little bathroom.
Yeah.
Hour 4? After the entire universe has been in that bathroom?
Exactly, when you realize it's like marinating in the air.
That's a great word. It's a great word when it goes from being an airplane to a petri dish.
Exactly.
Oh my God, Lizzie, I'm so glad that I realized we could talk. You made my morning. That is so funny. And because I was going to say is that what I still have in my bag, on the other side, I have in my bag, and I know that's bad radio, but I don't care because it's atmosphere. I still have this hook that I got during COVID.
Oh, I know those.
It's this little, you slide it on your knuckle, and it's sort of like I bought like 9 of them throughout COVID because I kept losing them. I don't know how. I didn't go anywhere. But but it's this like little hooky thing and it's got like ridges in it. It's supposed to be able to manipulate like doorknobs and hook handles and stuff like that. And I still use it like when I'm on the train.
Yes.
To open that bathroom, or in certain situations when I remember I have it in my bag.
Yeah, no, anytime you're reminded of how many people exist in the world, yes. I feel like that the germaphobe in me comes out.
Oh, Lizzie Radabali, everyone. Thank you so much for that, Lizzie.
Thank you, TJ,
thank you. That's magnificent. That's a great, I love texture. I love dynamic. And I just realized Tony chimed in earlier and now Liz is here getting ready for her, newscast. And, excellent. Thank you. Okay, cool. So, so I kind of just, I don't know. I guess it's context. Liz put it perfectly. It's context. And that's what people are chiming in about. Marianne and Liz over there. Yeah. And Catherine, by the way. It's universal. It's cold. It's creepy. And you feel like you're on like an island and nobody knows you're there when you're in the emergency room. And like I said, my wife, and she's fine, by the way. And yes, a couple of people said, thank God she's fine. Yes. Turns out she's okay. I mean, got to figure out exactly what's going on, but it was not what she went to the hospital for, which after a 7-hour saga, you almost wish there was something wrong. When she said, no, I'm coming home. It's nothing. I was like, oh my God, after all that, they couldn't take something out. They couldn't remove. I mean, was there anything else you could have had removed, honey, while you're there? Was there something? 1-800-848-9222. And let's get over to, I promised him and I can't believe I let him go. Joaquin, good morning, brother.
Hey, good morning, TJ Mac Daddy.
Welcome, baby.
You know something?
Yeah.
I am really on board with Lamar. I really like that guy. And maybe he'll share more of his resume because I've heard him before. And I believe he said when he was on he's a privateer after his military service. So he sounds like he might be a life taker of our enemies.
So is a privateer, that's a mercenary, right?
Yeah, it's a private military contractor, PMC.
Gotcha. Okay.
So anyway, I mean, I heard him and he's on board. We're on the same page as far as Islam goes and everything goes,
Yep.
And, and to all these Democrats who are sitting there getting excited, like my dogs when I come home, and tell them, get down and put that thing away because you know what? This was a little blue wave. Every place that this election that they won in blue cities. They won in blue jurisdictions, okay? So there's no real victory here. And as a matter of, as far as that goes, who knows how much cheating has gone in any single one of these elections. Yeah. Because Mamdani, when only 38% of the voters were, natural-born U.S. citizens, and the rest of them were foreigners who've been here for less than 5 years. There is something not right about that.
And did you see Joaquin and everyone else? Did you see those videos? There were like one or two that I saw on X and Instagram of these people who said, "Yep, I'm not even registered to vote in New York City." And no, look, they could have been just totally playing us and stuff, or they could have been sticking it in our face. This one fella, walking around the city, and he took us on a tour, and he's like, made it look like it seemed like he voted like 3, 4, 5 times over the course of this video, with never being asked for identification, of course, because there is no voter ID. Interesting. I mean, did you see any of those videos? These people claiming to be voting multiple times in the city?
Actually, you want to know something? I did not see those. I saw another one that I actually found to be quite disturbing. You see the one with that young woman who was sitting there cheering for Mamdani, for Islam, and for Sharia, and she just converted to Islam and should be happy to help anyone convert to Islam. And yay, Sharia is coming.
Yeah. Oh, yes, I did see that. Yep, yay, Sharia. Yep, I saw that. Yep.
How deranged could this girl be?
A woman.
Idea that she's going to be a dog on a leash?
She should have a little sit down with what's her name? That lovely young lady who was shot by she's one of my heroes, and I always blank on her name when I go to say it. It's like one of those weird reactions. She was shot by the Taliban. She's a Pakistani.
Oh.
Malala Yousafzai. Malala. That is the hero. That is the hero of heroes of heroes. This girl cheering on Sharia law should have a long talk with Malala Yousafzai. I can't say her name. Clearly. Yeah.
And you know, the other thing too is this. All right. As far as this shutdown goes, you know, our problem is that we just don't have enough guys who are well spoken, like Tom Homan and even Donald Trump, you know,
right. And Lawler,
like Lamar, that can get out there and put the message out there. Because you know something, the Democrats are causing this. They want us to pay for these illegal immigrants. Somebody said that just in the state of Oregon, which probably has a small population, or in one city, they spent $1.5 billion on illegal immigrants, and God knows how much New York State made. And New York's Medicaid system is about to collapse because of all the money they spent on, you know, so they want the federal government, they want the rest of the country to make good on this, and not to mention the Obamacare subsidies, which were, you know, supposed to sunset.
Right.
So this has to be, the messaging has to be out there that this is not the Republicans' fault. Either we stop them right now, or we're going to be paying through the nose for all these bad decisions that these Democrats have forced on us. You know?
I know. Joaquin, thank you, buddy. As always, buddy. As always, great call. Sean in Pearl River, line 3. Good morning, Sean.
TJ, lean on me when you're not strong. All right, my man. You have the best variety show, TV, radio, internet, anywhere.
Thank you.
In the universe.
You're nice. Thank you, pal. Thank you. Sometimes we get into a good groove, for sure. Thank you. But that's all you guys too, so thank you. What's on your mind? What's your ER story?
All right. I'm going to say it in a second, but first I want to say a couple of things that might be important, might not be important.
Okay.
Marsha Kramer, that great journalist, she's still around.
Yes.
She actually voted. I think it was the rematch between Giuliani and Dinkins. She voted around the city 8 times, and at the 8th time she told them, I voted 8 times today, and then they arrested her. But it was, she was doing her journalist thing there, showing how easy it was to vote multiple times.
Did Marsha Kramer do that?
Yes. It's going back a few years, but I think they sort of sanitized that on the internet because they didn't want people. But she did do it if you ever interview her. And another thing before I get to the meat and potatoes, I hear some people calling in, they're having a hard time and everything. We know if they were invaded, they'd get the carpet rolled out for them. But I always thought the Salvation Army, you know, why not try the Salvation Army? Now, if you go there and they give you a coffee and a donut, then I think you should call Talk Radio and let us know about it, you know?
Right.
But the thing about the hospitals, people have to know, you got to know the hospitals in your area. You got to know what the good ones are and which ones are the bad ones. You stay away from the bad ones, that's for sure. Yeah. The invaders, I know they're talking about they want more money and stuff. Listen, this is a grab by the Democrats. The invaders use our emergency rooms. That's their primary care. They don't get billed for it. They have to treat them. They've bankrupted so many hospitals. St. Vincent's in Manhattan on the Lower West Side was a great hospital, great emergency room. Totally bankrupted to join. And also, when you look at some of this stuff, they use 911 as a car service.
There are people that just abuse it. I think it's a mindset. I think it's a generational thing. I think there are people that come from families that hand down that sort of that value system and that way of doing things. And it's so unfortunate. It's so unfair because there are people who are absolutely in need of free services, again, that social safety net needs to be there. We need to save lives of people who can't pay for it. You have to. And it's such a shame that people just, without a thought. I mean, I'd have a hard time picking up somebody else's Ritz cracker. You know what I mean? Like I would literally, I don't think I could do it. I don't think I could just take a Ritz cracker that somebody left there that because it's not mine. I have a hard time utilizing things that are not mine. Taking something is not mine. Catholic guilt, right from wrong, fear. I don't know. Am I scared of getting caught? Yeah, some of that too. But there are so many decisions along the way for people to do the wrong thing. Whether it's voting multiple times or calling 911 for an ambulance they don't need. There are so many decision points along the way where you could turn back and not do it. It's amazing to me how many bad decisions people will make in a row to to do the wrong thing. You know what I mean? No conscience. It drives me nuts.
Well, the emergency room thing, here it comes. But remember, they go,
well, hit me with your ER story.
Because you're a good person, that's why, and you have a conscience. Other people, there are a lot of bad people. Like you always hear these people say, "Oh, they're bad people because they're getting bad information." No, they're bad people. They're evil.
Yeah, no, they're bad people. No, there's bad people, and the heartbreaker too. There's good people that will turn bad on you. There are people that start off okay and they devolve, and I've got one in my family that it's just like it's a heartbreaker.
They're always bad. They're just waiting to make that move. Anyway, here it is.
Yes, tell me.
It's not mine. It's a friend of mine that's here right now. He's going to give you a great story. Oh. Come on over here. Talk to TJ.
Oh.
Come on over.
Who's there?
Steve. It's Steve from Manhattan, my man. It's not the emergency room. It's the recovery room.
Okay.
I'm in the recovery room. I'm a teenager. Right. And I'm groggy. I'm just waking up and I hear a lot of giggling. Right. And when I'm able to wake up, there's 5 gorgeous, there's no BS, 5 gorgeous nurses around me.
Yeah.
And they start asking me questions that have nothing to do with medical sciences and everything. And you know what I told them? I said, listen, girls, I feel sorry for the beautiful women out there. You know why? Because there's millions of beautiful women out there, but only one TJ. Take it easy, baby.
Oh, my God. Arguably the most interesting, because you never know where Sean is going to go. You never know where he's going to go. 1-800-848-9222, 1-800-848-9222. Jack in Baltimore. Good morning, Jack.
Hey, good morning, TJ. I called to compliment you for a segment you did last weekend with the lawyer Sheehan.
Yes.
And UFOs. That was really good. A lot of good content.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and you asked great questions, and his answers were even better.
Thank you, Jack.
One that you asked, I think it'd be good to put that hour back up in a podcast.
Sure.
But the theories that you got into, and one of the task force he was working on was, how do we deal with, and you asked him the question, well, how do we deal with our religion and there's alien life and God created it? And he said, no. That isn't the big question. The big question is, what is God? And then you two got into that discussion.
It was that guy. You know, it's funny. My wife today was okay. It is, by the way, up in a podcast. You can go listen to it because my wife killing time which is not the operative phrase when you're in the emergency room, but my wife was listening to last week's program in the ER today, killing time. And when she got home after this odyssey, that's what we talked about. And she said that conversation that you had with Danny Sheehan. And you know what? And I told her, I said, and so it's interesting, Jack, that you said I asked good questions. This guy had so much information and is so unbelievably smart that I was actually a bit intimidated, if you will. And I was really kind of taken aback and I couldn't really land on some questions in real time, to be honest with you. And a couple of those, so I did spend a lot of time in that interview just kind of getting out of the way and letting him go because he's on a whole different level when it comes to his information. And yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it was the universe expanding. He was rolling out scientific facts. I'm like, oh, it's the shape of an egg, and on the other side of it,
right? And then you think about it too. It's like, okay, if we believe that God created everything, the heavens and the earth and the universe, and there's aliens out there zipping around and coming and visiting us, and this goes back thousands and thousands of years. Well, then wait a minute. We have no choice but to embrace that as also God's creation. So God created those aliens and those other beings and those other, it takes our faith into not just in a direction. It's in the same direction, but it just takes us so much further down a road of stuff we're going to have to embrace and fold into our faith. Wow, right?
Yeah, it was very good.
It really. Thank you, Jack. Thank you for that compliment. That really. Thank you. Really, very much. I do appreciate it. And it is up on WABCRadio.com. You can go listen to it. 1-800-848-9222. Let's, you know what? Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk to Paulie and Eddie, and we shall return in that order. Immediately upon returning, we will talk to Eddie and Paulie and whomever else as we, roll it right up to the final few minutes of this Saturday morning broadcast. It's Another Side of Midnight. I'm TJ McCormick. This is the Red Apple Audio Network.
All night long, this is Another Side of Midnight with TJ McCormick, 77 WABC. It's Another Side of Midnight.
Political humorist TJ McCormick.
Now, to the Bernard McGurk studios of 77 WABC.
Here's TJ McCormick.
Tomorrow, you know what? We'll do the audio because it's good. Tomorrow morning, we'll queue up. I'll talk about it before we leave. But this week there was in my Instagram feed a classic honeymooners moment popped up, and it's one of those. I mean, like so many of those Ralph and Norton moments. You know it. You know it's coming. You're expecting it. And when they hit that punchline, it still kills you every time. And this is something that you have seen a billion times. It's in black and white. It has lived on TV and in your consciousness since before you were born, and it still makes you laugh. Jerry Lewis once said that, you know, you can teach theories of comedy. You can teach what is funny and why something is funny and how to do something that is supposed to be funny in a funny way. You can teach it. But then there are people who simply have funny bones. Those two guys, Gleason and Art Carney, had funny bones. They had one speed, and that was funny. Although, yes, each guy could tug on the heartstrings. Gleason did it in a couple of movies, certainly. A couple of his comedy characters were kind of sad. And Art Carney, I think Harry and Tonto, that was a heart grabber. Anyway, tomorrow morning I'll find the clip and the fellas will play it for you, from the honeymooners. Let's get over to Paulie. And, yes, Paulie, good morning.
What's going on, TJ?
Hey.
Excellent listening to you. Excellent.
Thank you.
I just wanted to ask a question.
Yeah.
What would happen if Trump just shut down the airspace? Said nobody's flying. That's it.
You know what, man?
They got him anything the guy does pisses everybody off.
Right. And it's kind of like, all right, you want to be angry? Okay. And you know what, man? If anybody could make that work, it'd be him. And then he could literally call in. He could flip open a switch, have a live camera on the portico at the White House and say, I'm waiting for them to show up. The airports are closed. I'm waiting for the Democrats to walk through the door. Watch the camera on YouTube. Oh my God. I think you're right, Paulie. You're right.
McGillicuddy Gorilla's number one.
Oh, Mr. Peebles. Mr. Peebles. Wow. I never knew I could imitate him until just this very moment. Yeah, that was a good one. That was a great one. That was on in the afternoon after school.
I used to love watching him stoned. I used to love watching Bugs Bunny's the best watching stoned.
Bugs Bunny Bugs Bunny. Bugs Bunny taught me comedy, man. Bugs Bunny taught me comedy. What's your favorite Bugs Bunny? What's your favorite Bugs Bunny?
Oh God.
Mine is the Gremlin.
Oh God. There's so many.
He's silly. I like that one. That one, and go ahead.
Yosemite Sam.
Okay. Yeah. Yosemite Sam, and then there's the one.
He'd always crush the guy. Always crush him.
The big orange monster when he's sitting there doing his nails. The big orange monster. Oh God Almighty! My girls have no clue. I try to show them this.
I don't even watch regular TV anymore. I watch Leave It to Beaver. Believe it or not.
I believe it. I believe it.
I stream everything. I watch Leave It to Beaver. You know, all the old shows.
All the stuff on YouTube and Antenna TV. It's great stuff. It's great stuff. It really is.
Mysteries in the Museum is the best.
Yes. Yes.
You got to watch that show.
All right, dude. I'm going to get to all the rest of the callers here. Paulie, thank you for hanging on and waiting. Eddie in Rockland. Eddie, good morning.
Hey, good morning, TJ. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, Pally. I'm good. How are you this morning?
Listen, I just heard a real owl out here.
Oh, really? That's right. Eddie's on his walk, everybody. Eddie's on his walk, him and God.
Hey, you're like me with the earphone when you're sleeping.
Yes.
I gotta have it in.
Gotta
have it in.
I need that noise, right?
Like a baseball game, I won't last a half inning. I'll fall asleep.
Right.
But then I wake up in the middle of the night. Yeah. Now I'm searching for the skips.
Yes, and now you're up.
You know? And I used to get Alan B. Combs out of Buffalo.
Uh-huh.
He had a great late night show. What a great man he was.
Yes. There were a bunch of them.
Radio Graffiti. He had some gig going.
Yeah. There are some greats. I can only live to aspire to get to that sort of brilliance. There were some great late nights.
Married, I used to have Steve Summers on.
Steve
my
Summers.
Wife hated it. Yep. I had to put the earphone in. She wouldn't let me listen to it on the radio.
Me here, you there. Tony on the other side of the glass.
Oh my God! All this stuff brings back such great memories.
Isn't that great stuff?
Thank you for bringing them back, pal.
Ah, you're a good man. Thank you. You made my morning again. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you. Oh, you guys are making my morning equally. Let's see. Very quickly now, I want to make sure we say hi to everybody. Sandra in Jersey. Okay, Sandra, you're going to set me straight.
Hi, TJ. I just wanted to say that I don't think that I don't think doctors get kickbacks. Like, I know for a fact that my husband's in the medical field. Mm-hmm. He would get referrals very often, but he never got anything for it. And as a matter of fact, he went to a dermatologist recently that used to send him referrals. He's not working anymore, but he never even met the guy. And then he went there for the first time, and he says, wow, you're the one that sent me referrals. Wow. They don't even know each other. I think it's by word of mouth. If someone is good and they hear the name is good, then they send the patient there. And it's a reflection on the doctor to send it to a good person. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Thank you, Sandra. Thank you for correcting a record, and thank you. I mean, we did hear that sometimes docs maybe they get a little thank you in the form of, tickets or galas or something like that. But thank you. Let's get over to Rick in Mount Vernon. We're going to get everybody before this show's over. Damn it, Rick. Good morning.
Yes. Do you have any time to speak to me? Because if we don't, I will hang up. And call you another time.
You, my old friend from the old days, you call me tomorrow morning because I know that you, when you good do night. Call, you have a lot to say. Yes. Good night. Sweet dreams, baby. That's, he goes by Rick now. Used to be Rich. I knew him as Rich, and he would say things in a certain beat that was almost a bit poetic. Mike in South Carolina. Good morning. You're bringing up the rear again, my buddy.
Bring it up the rear, he said. Oh, Lord. Where's my drumsticks? That's a rim shot.
Holla! Good morning, pal.
I got to tell you, I've been listening to talk radio for 30 years. That guy Sean that called before, funny. But, he's like Sybil. His real name is Steve from Manhattan. And, he'll go on it and like, come on, man.
Sean in Pearl River. That's a good guy.
Yeah, right.
That's a good disguise.
Different names. Yeah. Anyway, I was going to talk about Mandami, but I'm not going to get Ajita over that guy. Please,
he's not worth it.
TV shows.
Yeah.
I grew up in the TV generation. The honeymooners you were talking about.
Yep.
I was at Shea Stadium. I was 14, 1968, when they filmed the triple play, The Odd Couple.
You told me that, and I still can't believe you were there.
Oh yeah. I went to classic games. Last game of the 69 series, I was 15 and whatever. But you know what? You got the mojo on talk radio. And I said a few times, I'll say it again. We were lucky and are lucky to have you on for 2 nights a week, WABC.
Thank you. Mike, you did it again, Pally. And I am grateful to every single one of you guys. I had no clue where I was going this morning, and you all were right there and you picked me up, and we had a great show. Tony, Bill, thank you. Liz, good morning. Everybody, I'll see you tomorrow morning, and until then, I wish you all the luck in the world.
It's Another Side of Midnight, 77 WABC.
It's easy to get stuck reaching for the same familiar fruits and vegetables, even when you know a colorful variety is key. Balance of Nature's fruits and veggie supplements don't replace fruits and vegetables, but it makes it easy to add more variety to what you already eat. With 31 ingredients that are whole fruits and vegetables, switching it up is easy because we've already taken care of the hard part. Go to balanceofnature.com and get a free fiber and spice supplement, plus 35% off your first set as a new preferred customer by using discount code POD.